All right, it's Tuesday. We're just 2 days out before the 2024 NCAA tournament. I'm here in Kansas City. I can't believe it, right in front of the T-Mobile Center, where in just 2 days we're going to start the NCAA wrestling tournament. Just one of the greatest weeks in wrestling, bar none. And I wanted to go through what I'm so excited about on Thursday. And when you think about Thursday at NCAAs, this is when you find those bracket busters. This is when you have those huge upsets. And I think we're going to see more than a handful. It's been a crazy year. I think that's going to continue into this NCAA tournament. So I'm going to give you some of my top round 1 and round 2 matches to watch coming into NCAAs on day 1. So these are the top matches to watch in day 1. So we'll start with the first session. I think we're going to have fireworks right out the gate, especially at, you know where I'm going to start. You know where this video is going to start. 125 pounds, the weight of chaos. And a match you can't miss is between number 12, Anthony Notto of Lock Haven, and number 21, Brandon Kaylor of Oregon State. Now Kaylor, he's a 21 seed. You say that's not a very good seed. Well, we know a couple things. One, 125 has been crazy. And another thing you have to consider, even though his season maybe didn't end the way, on the highest note, Kaylor has wins over the number 3 seed, the number 6 seed, and the number 5 seed here at NCAAs. So he has beaten a lot of really tough guys this year. You cannot count him out against Anthony Notto. Notto's great from the top position. He's beaten some really good guys this year, but that's going to be fireworks. Certain versus Poulin, 13 versus 20 at 125 pounds. This is a Big 12 final rematch from last year. Both these guys have been good. Poulin won that Big 10 final, but Certain is higher seeded at the 13. Poulin might be able to pull a slight upset there. Another one I've been talking about all week long, number 18, Michael DiCastino versus number 15, Caleb Smith. Now, this one could go either way, no doubt about it. Smith won last time they wrestled 8-5, but I don't like how he finished his season. Okay, he went 2-4 in his last 6 matches. Not a lot of momentum, but no one's gonna have a ton of momentum coming into this tournament. He's got the advantage of having a win over Michael DiCastino, but Smith also has some really good wins. You know, he's beaten Braden Davis. And Michael DiCastino, he has wins in his career over Drake Ayala. He's beaten Matt Ramos in his career. Caleb Smith's also beaten Matt Ramos. And these are highly seeded guys. Both these guys have bracket buster potential. And whoever wins this match, I think is going to give Luke Stanich a really tough matchup. Stanich is the 2 seed, but I think he's going to be threatened by the winner of this match. All right, moving up to 141, you've got number 12, Wyatt Henson, versus number 21, Josh Edmund. But when you look at this, you've got Josh Edmund has 3 top 18 wins. Wyatt Henson has 1. So even though Henson has a huge seeding advantage, Josh Edmund has beaten more proven wrestlers this season. So while Henson brings a great record and a lot of wins and a conference title to the table, Josh Edmund is certainly more battle tested and has been able to beat more highly ranked guys. So that is definitely a great round 1 match to watch. And I think plenty of upset. I would be surprised if Edmund didn't win this match given the season he's had. Moving to 157, number 10, Jared Franick versus number 23, Joey Blaze. Blaze is a 23 seed, not great, but look at his wins. He's beaten Peyton Robb this year and he's beaten Ed Scott this year. That's the 4 seed and the 8 seed. That's a really strong season. He's just a freshman coming into his own. If you're a 10 seed, Jared Franick, this is not an ideal first round matchup. Even though he's the favorite here, you cannot look past. You think someone with Jared Franick's accolades and the caliber he's proven to have been, you would think you'd have maybe an easier path to that second round. Not so for Jared Franick. Number 24, Saldate versus number 9, Will Lewan. Now, on the one hand, Saldate does not have a lot of big wins this year, but he was a hair away from beating Levi Haynes. He is just down. He loses by 1 point, 2 points. Every match is right there for Chase Saldate. He's 25-6 on the year. Will Lewan, all he does is win 1 point matches. So you say it probably lines up really well for Will Lewan. I don't necessarily disagree. All I know is late in the 3rd period, Chase Saldate is going to have a chance to win, and he's someone who's proven he has big moves and the ability to score a lot of points. All right, last round 1 matchup I can't wait for it. Number 8, Adam Kemp versus number 25, Braden Thompson. Now, on paper, Adam Kemp's had a really fine season, no doubt about it, but Braden Thompson actually has 6 wins over the field versus Adam Kemp's 4. So Kemp is not necessarily battle tested. He hasn't faced the rigor that Braden Thompson has. And another thing you have to remember, Braden Thompson, true freshman, still coming into his own. I think this has upset potential. That's my highest seed upset prediction, a 25 over an 8 for round 1 of the NCAA tournament. All right, if you thought round 1 was crazy, round 2 is going to be even crazier because now NCAA seeds 1 through 33, which I think is a great change and makes a lot of sense. But you could get a lot more chaos. You know, you think back to 18, Kennedy Monday was unseeded, beat the 2 seed. Joey LaValle. You don't get quite those kind of really tough matchups early on anymore, but you kick it down to round 2 with a well-seeded tournament, and you have some fireworks that'll start. Now, of course, these are my predictions. There's no guarantees these matches happen. They're going to wrestle, and they may not happen. So there's a caveat for every single one of these. These guys have to win in round 1 for these matches to happen. But starting at 125, Dean Peterson versus number 1 seed Braden Davis. Peterson is the 16, Davis is the 1. But these two had an overtime match in the duel this year. Peterson looked really good at Big Tens. I think this is a tough match. I don't think there's any way Braden runs away with this match. It's going to be competitive and close late. You can't look past this match, and I'm sure Penn State staff and Braden are not going to overlook Dean Peterson. Also 125, number 11, Cooper Flynn versus number 6, Troy Spratley. Spratley's been fantastic as a freshman, as evidenced by his 6th seed. But Flynn is a tough guy to score on, and I think he could frustrate Spratley and make this one a little more competitive than people may expect. All right, another one I can't wait for, 125, round 2 potential. Michael DiAgostino, the 18th seed, versus number 2, Luke Stanish. Now, I talked about this match earlier with Smith and DiAgostino. I think DiAgostino wins it. If he gets Luke Stanish, I think there's real upset potential here. DiAgostino is a master of slowing the match down. He's tough from the top position. I think this is going to be a really tight match. Luke Stanish is not going to be able to blow out Michael DiAgostino, although his hand fighting, his pressure, his top work, Stanish is a complete package. He can go with just about anyone in NCAA wrestling, no doubt about that. But I think there's upset potential here. Michael DiAgostino was 1 second away from beating Braden Davis in tiebreakers. People forget that. That was just at the Big Tens last week. Okay, 133, this is a huge one. The 7 seed, Nasir Bailey versus the 10 seed, Aaron Nagao. Nagao's had an up and down season, really looked good at Big Tens. Nasir Bailey, he's been strong as well. I think the winner here is really setting himself up well for All-American honors. I think if you lose here in round 1, you're gonna get the loser of the Shaver and Dylan Ragusin. What's up, coach? The loser of the Dylan Shaver, Dylan Ragusin quarterfinal match. That's gonna be a really tough matchup for either of those guys. So you wanna win this match, so definitely wanna have this match highlighted. Plus, I think it's just gonna be a fire match. Nasir Bailey, really good from the top position. Aaron Nagao, really good in scrambles. It's a great test for Nasir Bailey, the 7th seed. Another one, Kai Orini versus Jacob Van Dee. Kai Orini's been a beast all year long. But Jacob Van Dee, this freshman from Erie, Pennsylvania, wrestling for Nebraska, he's done a great job this season. He's got a win over Dylan Ragusin. Both these guys have a lot of wins over guys in the field. 7 wins for Van Dee, 6 for Kai Orini. Both these guys are absolutely battle tested, and Van Dee's really coming into his own. So I think that round 2 potential matchup is gonna be great at 133. 141, this match is appointment viewing every single time. They've wrestled 2 matches, both have been fantastic. Brock Hardy and Sergio Lemley, that's an 8 versus a 9. Both these guys are so fun to watch. They just let it fly. It's a very exciting style of wrestling. They're very different wrestlers for sure, but both times they've wrestled, it's been fantastic. There's a lot of great ones at 141. 125, 141 just have fantastic round 2 matchups and beyond. Echemendia versus Josh Edmund. This was, now you look at the seeds and it's a 21 versus a 5. But at Big 12s, this was a 10-9 matchup. That's why you can't fall too in love with the seeds. This is gonna be a really tight match, and the seeds don't give proper justice to just how competitive these 2 wrestlers are. Edmund wrestled Echemendia tough last time. It would stand to reason that's gonna happen again in round 2 at NCAAs. Should Edmund pull off the upset of Henson in the first round. Another one, as soon as we saw the brackets, we started talking about this one. Bo Bartlett versus Cole Matthews, the 18 versus the 2. If you remember last year, Cole Matthews had him dead to rights. He had him beat. And then Bo Bartlett, from the grave, he gets the takedown in tiebreakers, and he wins the match. Now, since that time, has Cole Matthews gotten better? I'm not sure. Has Bo Bartlett gotten better? I think unquestionably, right? But that said, Bo Bartlett lets guys hang in the matches. That's just how Cole Matthews was able to beat Jesse Mendez this year. You can't count out Cole Matthews. He's been in too many big matches during his career. So you can't miss that one at 141 pounds. I'm moving up to 157. This is my number 1 match. This is the one, if I can only watch one round 2 match, it's this one. Cody Chittum versus Meyer Shapiro. I've been wanting to see this one for years. Been waiting forever. I thought we'd see it at Who's Number 1. I thought we'd see it at Junior Trials. We never saw it. Now it looks like, now it's nothing guaranteed because they both got to win round 1. I think it's going to happen. It's going to be a war. It's going to be a fight. These 2 are going to battle and scrap. And I think Meyer's the favorite here, but Cody Chittum is going to bring pace and pressure and a relentless arsenal to Meyer, and Meyer's got to go 7 minutes with this guy. Meyer can get those early takedowns and sometimes coast. You do that against Cody Chittum, it could backfire on you. So I think that's going to be a match to watch. Likewise, number 6, Daniel Cardenas of Stanford, taking on Braden Lee, number 11. Haven't seen a lot of Braden Lee in the first half of the year. Second half of the season, Braden Lee's looked really good. I think this is a coin flip match, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. In fact, I think Braden Lee may pull the upset here against the 6 seed Daniel Cardenas, who's had a fine season. Both these guys can keep it a little close. I think that's an advantage for Braden Lee. Ryder Downey is the 5 seed, guys. No one was talking about this guy outside of you and I coming into the season, but he's been a beast. Wins Big 12s, a lot of ranked wins, and I think he's going to have Bryce Andonian in this second round match. Everyone knows Bryce Andonian, crazy style, upper body, crazy scrambles, whereas Ryder Downey, really good scrambler, tough from the top position. Bryce Andonian hasn't looked quite right since he got injured. He wrestled at ACCs, got majored by Ed Scott, but what do those extra 10, 12 days of recovery mean for Bryce Andonian? We'll find out. I think at his best, he can beat Ryder Downey, but it doesn't matter. It's how he's feeling that day. Okay, another big one. Michael Blockus versus Ed Scott. Now, Michael Blockus is the 13th seed, but coming into Big Tens, he was looking like he could be the 2 seed at NCAAs, but he had the injury default out of Big Tens. It crushed his seed. Now he's down at the 13th. This is a guy with wins over Peyton Robb. This is a guy with a win over Jared Franick. He's been excellent all season long. So for that reason, you look at 13 versus 4 and you think it's up. No way. If Blockus is healthy, this is a toss-up match, and maybe edge Blockus in this situation. Ed Scott's fantastic, but he's taken some losses this year. He's lost to Santiago, he's lost to Blaze. You know, he's been vulnerable. I think he had a loss to Kaylor as well. So Scott's been vulnerable this season. He's really good. He earned that 4 seed, but it's tenuous, and I think Blockus could run him down. All right, coming down the home stretch, there's a lot of really good matches, and I had a hard time paring it down, and this is actually the pared down list, sad to say. I'm just that excited. 65, Cam Amin, the 10 seed versus 7 seed, Isaac Olenek. Cliff Keen Las Vegas rematch. Now, if you watch this match, you're like, oh yeah, I know why this is on the list. Because with 4 seconds to go, Cam Amin was winning. And then Olenek hits a pass by, drops down to the leg, gets the takedown, and wins the match. So that's a really exciting rematch potential. 74, also number 5, Philip Canigliaro versus the 12 seed, Patrick Kennedy. Kennedy's a beast, man. He has a win over the 4 seed, Edmund Ruth. And if you've followed Philip Canigliaro's season, he's got a lot of good wins against the field, but he lost 2 matches at EIWAs to Benny Baker. He's not coming in with a lot of momentum. I feel like Patrick Kennedy's wrestling really well right now. I wouldn't be surprised for him to pull that upset and maybe more beyond that. 184, pragmatically, I should put this match kind of out of my mind because Chris Foca has not shown he's that guy this year, but I can't. Number 14, Chris Foca versus number 3, Dustin Plott. There's nothing about their seasons that say this is going to be, this is an upset potential match. I just know what Chris Foca has been in the past, and you never know when it's going to rear itself again. I don't think that's gone. I just think he hasn't had this season that maybe many people expected. But he's got a lot of skills. You can't count him out against Dustin Plott here. All right, 97, number 12, Rocky Elam versus number 5, Jacob Cardenas. This was like a really close match in the duel, in a duel where Missouri, frankly, just didn't wrestle well at all. It was a tough duel for them. They ended up losing the duel to Cornell, and I think this is a coin flip match. I think it's 12 versus 5, but Rocky can get the win for sure if he can get to his single leg and finish and avoid those powerful double legs and the tricky top wrestling from Cardenas. Okay, 11, Jackson Smith versus number 6, Lou Dupre. Dupre was a guy we thought was retired, then he comes back and boom, earns the 6th seed. Jackson Smith didn't finish very strong at Big Tens. I think he's going to be wanting to look to rebound and have a strong showing here. I think it's going to make that a really tough match, and I think there's plenty of upset potential there. I think a lot of people are highlighting this one as a potential upset match here in round 2. Zack Glazier versus Silas Allred. Now, you may be like, why'd you put this one in there? Last time these two wrestled, it was a major by Zack Glazier in Allred's gym. I'm with you. But man, the Silas Allred I saw at Big Tens, I think he's going to be competitive with Zack Glazier. I think that match was bad. I think Glazier absolutely can win and should be favored. But I think I saw a different Silas Allred at Big Tens, and I think it's going to be a really tight match. And I know that Iowa staff and fans, you cannot overlook Silas Allred. This guy's a Big Ten champ. for a reason. So I think that's going to be a really tough one. And then last one, number 8, Owen Trefan versus number 9, Nick Feldman. This was Feldman, these two wrestled in the duel. Trefan won, and then Feldman got hot right after that. He's won basically 10 in a row if you take out the Greg Kerfleet matches, which we'll take those out. But other than that, he's been really strong, beating Lucas Davison twice, beating a number of other really tough guys. I think Feldman is a true freshman coming into his own. This is a huge match. And for NC State, they're going to be in a team race. And I said a lot of NC State guys, they're going to need to win these matches. And this 8 versus 9, Trefan versus Feldman, I think it's going to be an exciting match. And I think it's one where Nick Feldman has the opportunity to reverse that result. So that's my favorite potential matchups and matchups of day one. NCAAs gets started Thursday right here in Kansas City, inside of there. So excited to be here. Make sure you're tuning in. What are your favorite round 1 and round 2 matchups? I want to hear from you.